I'm Jason Henzell, the chairman of Jake's, Jack Sprat and Lover's Leap. We started Jake's 25 years ago. We now have over 150 employees. And my family dates back to Treasure Beach to 1941 when my grandfather, Basil Densham, built a little 2-bedroom cottage on Calabash Bay called Treasure Cot. We're very proud of what we do and how Treasure Beach is evolving as a community tourism destination. In 1998, we formed BREADS, the Treasure Beach Foundation. Our focus is on conservation, education, and sport for social change. We have been very fortunate to have hosted many groups and clinics over the years, a lot of doctors, nurses, physicians who have come down and really had a big impact on local persons. And what we would like to do now is to have a full-time clinic that would be good for locals, good for visitors, and that volunteers would come down on a full-time basis and rotate, working alongside with the Ministry of Health locally. And we think that that will be something that would help us to create our mission of becoming a model for low-density tourism and community-based tourism. A full-time health clinic in Treasure Beach would make a huge difference to locals that live here and also visitors. The Black River Hospital is 16 miles away. It's about half an hour on bumpy roads, and they do the best that they can. But having a full-time clinic here in Treasure Beach would make a world of difference, and that's something that we really look forward to doing. When guests come here, they want to know that, God forbid something happens, they need to see a doctor, that there's one in close proximity. So it's going to make our visitors feel much safer and our locals. And you never know, we may inspire children here to become doctors and nurses. Jamaican nurses are known all over the world, and so are the doctors. So, eventually we'd love to really inspire our local persons to take up those careers. Recently, Karif, who had a disability with one of his legs, one of his feet, was hosted in America and taken great care of. And they corrected his limp, and it has changed his life. Karif is now beaming everywhere you see him, and everyone knows that story and they know what is possible. And that has come out of a collaboration of working with doctors and nurses abroad. And Karif is like a role model around here now, and we're looking at similar cases and how we can change other people's lives. In October 2016, I myself ended up in the Black River Hospital. I was training for the New York Marathon. I became dehydrated, made some stupid mistakes that morning, and ended up in the Black River Hospital. And I was really moved emotionally when the staff of the hospital decided on their own to give up their staff room so that I could spend the night and probably be more comfortable. And it really woke me up, because health is everybody's business, and you never know when you're going to be a victim yourself. That really turned things around for us, has heightened our awareness. We've been working very closely with the Black River Hospital. They have an accident and emergency department there that, is very open to working and collaborating with outsiders, and we've hosted a lot of groups. But to have something right here in Treasure Beach really will help us to fulfill our mission of becoming that home of community tourism, that model for sustainable development, and that's what we intend to do. Local persons here, a lot of them don't own cars, and it's difficult, in an emergency situation, maybe to get to Black River Hospital, which is 16 miles away and can take 35 to 40 minutes. So having something right here in our own community would make a massive difference. God forbid some accident happens, a motorcycle goes down, a child. We have a lot of elderly in the community who find it hard to go over those treacherous roads to Black River. So our mission really is to have our own clinic, our own health center here in Treasure Beach, and we know what that will mean for our own community members, in addition to visitors who come and stay with us from around the world. Having a full-time health clinic here in Treasure Beach will raise the awareness overall. We've had quite a few drownings or near drownings, so just people being trained in first aid and in CPR, water rescue. All of these are things that will come out from that clinic. Just more awareness of how we can be there for each other's keeper, because it could be me today, it could be you tomorrow, and you just never know. And You know, when you train someone and empower them, it just makes such a huge difference. And safety at sea is something that's very, very important to us here in Treasure Beach, as well as car accidents and motorcycle accidents, heart attacks, strokes. You know, I have 3 restaurants, and God forbid someone gets choked, you know, how to do a Heimlich. Some of these things are simple things that can save someone's life. I remember many years ago, someone arriving here in the back of a pickup who had fallen down in a well. And they had a person in the back of the pickup, and his airway was blocked. And I went out and just took the pillow from under the back of his head. And he just started gasping for breath. I mean, that person would have probably died in a few minutes. Just opening back their airway, you know, probably saved the person's life. So it's tiny little things, nuances, and we can empower our locals by you know, these types of training seminars. And I know that a local clinic would do that. And it could be a local saving a foreigner saving a local. You know, we need to empower our community through healthcare. Many years ago, there was a doctor staying here at Jake's, and he went down to Frenchman Beach, and there was a kid drowning. He was able to save that child's life through CPR, and we got talking later that day, and he offered to bring a team of doctors down to teach persons in CPR and water safety. And we did some fundraisers, and that later turned out into us getting an ambulance for the community. And that ambulance served the community very well. It was volunteer based. It wasn't perfect because nothing that, you know, that's run on a volunteer basis can be. So the response time sometimes was good, sometimes it wasn't so good. But we rode that ambulance until the wheels fell off. We got a grant later on, who got us a brand new ambulance, and we went to a paid scenario of staff, and that became very, very expensive. Unfortunately, that ambulance was in an accident and is no longer around, but the cost to maintain that was significant. So I think having a locally based clinic and health center will make a huge difference. I think people will support it. We would like it to be used for interns of students who are studying medicine to come and volunteer here and to get credits for their university. So I'm in full support of this, and I hope you are as well.